going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Today starts my daily Manchester City transfer series throughout the whole of the summer transfer window through June, July and August for you guys to stay up to date with here on YouTube every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Sofascore are going to be keeping you guys up to date with all the latest football scores out there, as well as all the latest scores in all the other sports that you guys love to go and follow. The links and details, they are in the description. Sofascore is a free app to download, so it is worthwhile getting. It's very highly rated, so do go and check it out. As I said, do go and check out the link in the description. Alternatively, you can use the QR code to download the free Sofascore app. Anyone that does download Sofascore using either my QR code or my link in the description does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the contract news, and we've got the very latest on Kevin De Bruyne. Now, Peter O'Rourke has said that Manchester City are going to accelerate contract renewal talks with Kevin De Bruyne. He's got 12 months left on his contract. He turns 33 this summer. He's got interest from Saudi Arabia. He's been angling towards ending his career in the MLS over in the United States of America. So I imagine that if Manchester City are to give him a new contract, I imagine it'll be an extension of probably at most 2 years on top of his current deal. So if he was in charge at Manchester City and Kevin De Bruyne was going to be staying here until he turns 34 next summer, how long would you give him an extension for? Would you give him just 12 months or would you give him a couple of years? I imagine his agent will probably be angling towards staying at City for as long as possible. So interesting. Would love to know your thoughts of that, guys, in the comments below. Now, moving on to the other contract news, we've got the very latest on Erling Haaland, and Simon Mullock has said that another priority for Manchester City over the coming months is securing Erling Haaland to a new contract. They want him to sign a new deal. They're going to want to make him the new poster boy for Manchester City, for the Premier League as well. More than likely a pay rise with all kinds of bonuses and clauses and everything included in it. It won't be an easy deal for Man City to be able to negotiate, but what we will want is to keep Erling Haaland here. He is the kind of player who not only attracts interest from around the world in him, but also provides quality to Manchester City squad as well, nearly getting consecutive seasons of 30 plus Premier League goals, and he had a couple of months off as well. Some people have been saying that he's not had his best season with Manchester City, and if that is the case and he's still bagging near 30 goals when he's not playing for a couple of months in the Premier League season, then it's scary that if Erling Haaland is on form, just how good he can be. And Man City will be doing everything they can to keep Erling Haaland at the club. Now, moving on to the outs, players that may not be at Manchester City for too much longer, takes us on to Sergio Gomez. Now, Jogo over in Portugal have said that Sporting Club de Portugal, they want to sign Sergio Gomez on loan from Manchester City this summer. Included in that loan deal, they want to include an option to buy, which would be a very similar deal that Manchester City did with Sporting CP when it came to the future of Pedro Porro when he was at Manchester City. They loaned him for the year. They had an option to buy. They took up that option to buy, and Manchester City ended up making some money on Pedro Porro, and Sergio Gomez seemingly looking like he could be going in the same direction if Sporting CP do get their way. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Kalvin Phillips, and Rob Dawson over at ESPN has said that Manchester City are happy for Kalvin Phillips to be loaned out this summer. Manchester City will more than likely want most, if not all, of his wage covering, plus they want a good loan fee. Very similar terms to what City were looking for in January when it came to the sale of Kalvin Phillips to leave on loan, and he went to West Ham United, of course. There is plenty of interest right now from Europe in Kalvin Phillips, so I don't think this will be too difficult of a deal for Man City to get sorted as long as Kalvin Phillips isn't too choosy when it comes to selecting where he wants to be able to play. I spoke about in my last video how there were numerous clubs, nearly 10 teams interested in Europe in signing Kalvin Phillips. And I'm not just talking teams who are struggling, I'm talking some really prestigious European teams after Kalvin Phillips. So we'll see what happens with regards to that. Now, moving on to the final outs of this video takes us on to an update on Joao Cancelo. And Florian Plettenberg's been speaking about his future and says that Barcelona, they want to sign Cancelo again next season. They do want to make it permanent. There were some rumours going round about them making a £20 million move for Cancelo. Barcelona do not have £20 million, so they will not be signing. I'm very confident when I say this, that they will not be signing Joao Cancelo on a permanent basis. Now, what Barcelona and Cancelo are angling for is another loan deal that Barcelona would be paying a loan fee for. They'll be paying some of, if not all of his wage as well. And Manchester City will just keep trying to chip down at Cancelo's length of his contract before they'd be happy to sanction a sale and cut their losses, basically, is what's going to happen with Cancelo. So I can see him and Kalvin Phillips both leaving City this summer and neither of them being permanent basis again. So there we go. Moving on to the ins, we've got just one player to speak about, and we've got the latest on Mike Maignan over at AC Milan. Now, Alan Nixon has said that Manchester City have identified Maignan as the player that City want to replace Ederson with should he leave this summer. Man City have their contract offer on the table for Ederson to sign. Ederson's currently contemplating his future because interest has come from Saudi Arabia, in particular with Al Ittihad, who I presume are going to blow Man City out the water when it comes to his wages. Will be a difficult deal to negotiate because I've heard rumours of a £20-25 million fee being paid by Al Ittihad to sign Ederson, which I think is well below his market value, probably at least half below his market value, maybe even more below that. So it won't be an easy deal to get sorted, but Man City want to put all plans in place should anybody leave the club this summer, in particular any important first team players like Stefan Ortega, players like Ederson. So if Ederson does leave, Mike Maignan's looking like the player that City want to make a move for. There's no word on how much he would cost and how much Man City would be willing to pay and how much AC Milan are wanting. There's no real details. All we know is he's a 29-year-old goalkeeper. He's made 29 appearances in Serie A, conceded 34 times, kept 11 clean sheets, got some pretty good statistics. His distribution, some people have said, has been hit and miss, but you look at his distribution statistics and they're outperforming in the last season than that of Ederson. So something's caught Man City's eye when it comes to Mike Maignan. So would you be happy with City making a move for him and replacing Ederson with him? If so, do let me know in the comments below. If not, who would you like to see Man City sign instead should Ederson leave? If Stefan Ortega decides to leave Manchester City, I think City, if they can get Ederson onto a new deal, will probably be looking for a goalkeeper who we've either not heard too much about, or a goalkeeper that would probably cost a lot less, that would be acting as Man City's second choice keeper rather than first choice keeper. So if Ederson does leave, I think they'll be looking for a first choice keeper, and if Ortega does leave, they'll be looking for a second choice keeper. One thing I am sticking to, and I'm sticking with it right now, is I don't see Ederson and or Ortega both being at Manchester City come the end of this window. So something has to give. I think City will be bringing in a goalkeeper. What's going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. Remember, doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole summer transfer window for you guys to stay up to date with here on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace Ciao for now.